Is brought to you by Verizon, the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network in America. By Jeep, hurry in for great deals now during the Jeep Memorial Day sales event going on now. And by New York Community Bank and the NYCB family of banks. Visit them at mynycb.com. Get to Citi Field Saturday night, June 3rd, when the Mets play the Pirates at 7:15. After the game, you can enjoy a fireworks show that will light up the Citi Field sky. For tickets, visit Mets.com/fireworks. The Unlimited Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Nationals defeated by the Mariners yesterday 4-2. A blown save, albeit in the 6th inning of that game, when Nelson Cruz hit a 3-run homer. The Nationals, 10 games over 500, would be even better were it not for a bullpen that has dragged them down. Nonetheless, the Nats with a 7.5 game lead over Atlanta, 8.5 over the Mets as the Memorial Day weekend begins. And the Mets begin the long holiday weekend in the Steel City. It's a beautiful night in Pittsburgh. First pitch, Mets and Pirates coming right up. Cabrera makes his first start since May the 13th. He was down with a thumb injury, activated yesterday, pinch hit, but in the lineup today. Curtis Granderson down in the 7-hole. Rene Rivera gets the start behind the plate tonight. Neil Walker back in his hometown, batting cleanup against the second-year right-hander for the Pirates, Chad Kuhl.
24 years old. You see it'll be his 10th start. 1 on opening day and 8 starts later. 0-4. Obviously that ERA not very sparkling. So this Pirate pitching staff, this rotation's a little bit in flux right now. And the Coors Light Pirates defense. McCutcheons, we talked in the open, really struggling offensively. Polanco back off the DL. Frazier also off the DL. Mercer, Freeze, Harrison, and Bell. Bell's this young kid that's having himself a nice power year, 9 home runs. And the former Yankee Cervelli behind the dish.
It rained a good portion of the day here. It was cloudy most of the afternoon, but the sun has come out and shadows are going to be an issue in center field and left field right at the start of the game. Michael Conforto leads off, 7-game hitting streak. First pitch from Kuhl, lifted foul down the left side, and out of play, and we're underway. Michael starts the night 8th in the National League in batting, 6th in on-base percentage, and 3rd in slugging percentage. Had the golden sombrero last night, but managed a base hit his last time up in the 9th inning as the Mets tried to rally against Brad Hand and the Padres, only to fall short. And Conforto fouls it back, and Cool quickly ahead 0-2. There is your Porsche leaderboard. OPS, that's on base plus slugging. Freddie Freeman on the disabled list for the long term. Bryce Harper, and then in that 3rd spot, Mr. Conforto.
Well, anything over the 9s is unbelievable.
And Cool strikes him out on 3 pitches. Got him with a slider for the first out of the night. So Cool. Conforto's night begins the way last night began.
Cool. It's a good slider right here, Gary. See the circle on the ball? Perfect location. Down and in. Sinker slider pitcher. And you always hate coming in as Jose Reyes steps in, Gary, a guy on a losing streak like this, because sooner or later they got to win.
Here's Reyes, 2 hits last night, hit the ball very well all night long from both sides of the plate, and he takes a strike.
He's got a pretty good fastball. We've got some little zip on it. First time I've seen Cool. What a nice name. Very cool.
They've got Cool and Cole back to back in their rotation. Garrett Cole, their ace, goes tomorrow night in game 2 of the series behind Chad Cool. Here's Cole, not to be confused with Cool. Got it all straight now?
It's the party of the second part.
And then there's the Mets pitcher tonight who is merely cool. That would be Jacob deGrom. Here's the 0-2 coming to Reyes, and the fastball foul back. 97 from Cool. His average fastball this year has been 94.6.
24 years of age, a youngster.
Made his debut last year, made 14 starts, went 5-4 with a 4.2 ERA. And maybe his best start of the season his last time out against the Phillies. Went 5 scoreless innings, gave up only 1 hit. A no decision game for him, a game the Pirates eventually won 1-0. He's out of Max Picker University, also known as the University of Delaware.
That's
Changeup misses. 1-2 to Reyes.
There's Clint, former Met.
Clint Hurdle has had long tenures in both Colorado and now in Pittsburgh as a big league skipper. And Reyes wastes one away. This is now Clint's 7th year in Pittsburgh. He had 8 years in Colorado.
Took them to a World Series where the Red Sox just chewed him up and spit him out.
Made the postseason 3 straight years with the Pirates before they took a step back last year. Last year they won just 78 games after 3 straight wild card appearances.
You mentioned, Gary, in the open, the loss of 2 key starters on this ball club.
Certainly has made them take a step back early in the season. Reyes lifts one along the left field line. Back goes Freese. In comes Frazier. Freese over the shoulder makes a nice play. David Freese going away, catching the fly pattern for the 2nd out.
This is no easy play right here. It makes you wonder where the left fielder was here. There's Freese left of your screen. It's a long bomb here. That is not an easy play, folks. Well done.
So 2 out and nobody on. And now Jay Bruce will step in. It's been a struggle for Jay lately. Just 5 hits in his last 38 at bats. Hitting .248 on the year. Of course, Jay used to play in the National League Central, so he has big numbers against all these Central Division teams. 21 career home runs against the Pirates, his 2nd highest total. And Cool misses with a changeup, and it's 2-0. Cool's walk numbers are up this year. One of the reasons why he has struggled. Last year, 2.5 walks per 9 innings. This year, almost 4. That's driven toward the gap in left center field. McCutchen chasing back near the wall, and it's off the fence. In play. Bruce on his way to second. He pulls in standing with a 2-out double. So Jay hitting it to the deepest part of the park out in left center, where it ducks away to 410 and banged it straight off the fence.
Fastball away, and this is a good sign from Bruce, who's been pulling off a little bit in his slump. It's good to see him use left center field, rediscover that left center field gap.
And the cheer you hear is for the announcement of Neil Walker's name. Even in his second year back as an ex-Pirate, he is still hailed here. Hometown kid who made good for his hometown team. Pirates' first-round draft pick. Came in here last year, and if you remember, he made a couple of errors. He was a little nervous coming back. Went 3 for 11 in that series at PNC Park. Should be a little easier for him this year. Trying to pick up Bruce from second base with 2 out. And he jumps back, ball 1.
Well, Neil has been outstanding in the clutch. 415 with runners in scoring position. 17 for 41. That's a good body of work right there for a season.
Coming off a good series against the Padres, went 5 for 12 in the 3 games. And takes a fastball on the corner, 1-1. Well, this entire Mets team has really upped their game with runners in scoring position. They had a rough night last night, just 1 for 10. Left a lot of opportunities on the table. But for the season, the Mets are hitting .315 as a team with runners in scoring position, second best in the majors. And it's taken high 2-1. It's the reason the Mets have been able to outperform their numbers otherwise. Their batting averages in the lower half of the league. Even their home runs not as high up on the board as they were last year. But with that runners in scoring position number, they're 6th in the league in runs per game.
Always helps.
Over 5 runs per game this year. And Cool sails that changeup outside, and it's 3-1. Right now, Terry Collins just needs some consistency from his pitchers. Mets have pitched dreadfully this year for a team that was supposedly built around pitching. He's got his best pitcher left standing going tonight. And Walker takes a borderline strike. He thought it might have been ball 4, but Doug Eddings calls him back, and it's 3-2.
Little backdoor slider. Catcher set up outside. Pretty good pitch, 3-1. It's okay. One to take. Not a hitter's pitch.
And Cervelli out to talk to Cool before they throw the 3-2. Eddings has always been known as a pitcher's umpire. Corey Blazer working at first, the crew chief Jeff Nelson at second, and Laz Diaz at third. And frankly, I think if they want to work on pace of game, call more strikes, that'll get the game moving faster.
And by calling more strikes, Gary, it's do it as it's in the rule book. Knees, letters, corners.
3-2 coming to Walker, and he wastes away the fastball. Cool throwing hard in this opening inning.
He's got a good arm, this young man.
Interestingly enough, Cool has been more hittable early in games. First pass through the batting order, they're hitting .338 against him, and then just .256 after that. So it looks like he's come out tonight looking to put some major mustard on it in the opening inning. 7th pitch of the at bat coming to Walker. And Neal hits one out to center field. McCutchen shading his eyes, got a late start coming in, but he gets there to retire the side. The sun a little bit of an issue on that fly ball, but McCutchen made the adjustment. Jacob deGrom takes the mound when we come back. Here's the Hyundai starting lineup for the Pirates. Adam Frazier has been a revelation in the leadoff spot. He and Josh Harrison have done a great job setting the table of late for the Pirates. Andrew McCutchen hitting 6th in the order, had never hit lower than cleanup in any game in his major league career before tonight. And here is the aforementioned Mr. Frazier leading off, hitting .361 on the year, and he takes a strike.
And the Land Rover numbers for Jacob. There they are. 10th start. Strikeouts are off the charts, as you can see. Walks a little up.
Leads the National League in strikeouts per 9 innings. 12.3 strikeouts per 9. He's already had 4 double-digit strikeout games this year. And coming off 7 scoreless against the Angels his last time out. Quickly ahead on Frazier, 0-2. And he grounds one right at Walker. And Eel takes care of Frazier for the first out. East Coast Power and Gas brings you those strikeouts per 9 inning leaders. Max Scherzer's also pitching tonight. Robbie Ray pitched yesterday for the Diamondbacks and struck out 9 in 7 scoreless innings. But it's DeGrom who's sitting atop that leaderboard. 1 out. Here's Josh Harrison, who has always given the Mets fits. And he's hitting .304 this year, and he's been hot lately.
Stands way off the plate, does Josh, but watch his stride. He strides into the pitcher, almost towards first base. He's a cut and slasher.
Late on that fastball. Harrison has the advantage of being able to play a lot of different places. Played left field for the Pirates yesterday. He's back at second base, his primary position today. He's been now his 7th season with the Pirates, lifetime .285 hitter. And DeGrom goes away with the fastball, 2-1. Why does Jake get so many strikeouts? Well, he gets more swings and misses than anybody else. 35.4% of his pitches are swung and missed. That's a phenomenally high number. And there's another one on the slider by DeGrom, and it's 2-2.
Good downward tilt on this slider, Garrett. He's been a little inconsistent with that pitch this year so far, and that's a good start.
2-2 coming. Reached for it, poked into right field, a base hit for Harrison. So another good slider by DeGrom, and Harrison able to stay on it and just get a piece to knock it into right.
Oh, this is called fanny out. Out in front, completely full, but keep the hands back, let go with one, and just kind of pluck it out there. Well, picks it off the ground.
Those have to make pitchers so angry. I mean, you make a perfect pitch like that, an almost unhittable pitch, and the guy not only makes contact, he gets a hit.
It's actually a pretty good skill right there to be able to do this. And that ball is, what, 3 inches off the ground? It's probably 2 inches, 3 inches outside.
Here's the switch hitting first baseman, Josh Bell, and he goes after a first pitch fastball.
Bell's a guy that's got 9 home runs, 10 doubles, a lot of strikeouts, 32 strikeouts on the year.
Big guy, was an outfielder in the minor leagues. They had to convert him to first base because the Pirates are so deep in outfielders, or at least they were before Marte got suspended and McCutchen's skills seem to erode. Nonetheless, Bell trying to find a home at first where he's a little rough.
Well,
but if he keeps hitting home runs, they'll live with it.
Pirates have always been a subpar defensive team under Clint Hurdle.
Well, history of subpar defensive first baseman going back to Dick Stewart.
Oh, Dr. Strangeglove.
Here's the 0-2. And he takes the slider low and in, 1-2.
And what was it like to live without the glove?
Well, the Mets had Marv Throneberry. Clint Hurdle, when he managed in Colorado, had a couple of splendid first basemen, Andres Galarraga and Todd Helton. But that's a different time. 1-2 to Bell. He takes it up and away, 2-2. Gregory Polanco is batting cleanup. Polanco, just back from the disabled list, is on deck. Polanco was out with a hamstring injury. Frazier had a hamstring injury.
Hammies.
Mets aren't the only team that gets people hurt, you know.
Oh, everybody's getting hurt.
It's the 2-2. And he went around and just got a piece of that to foul it into the ground. Still 2-2. Jacob deGrom, 3 weeks away from his 29th birthday. When you turn 29 in the big leagues, you are no longer young.
That's not true here.
There goes Harrison. The pitch inside. Rivera's throw on a hop. And Harrison steals the base. His 5th of the year. And that is the first stolen base with Jacob deGrom on the mound this year.
Good pitch to throw, too. Had to reach a little bit, but he's already up in a throwing position. No wasted motion. Just too good a jump.
Rivera keeping the tag on just in case Harrison came off the bag, which he did not. So he's in scoring position with 1 out. A 3-2 count to Bell. And the curveball, a half swing, and he held it in time. Ball 4. Third base umpire Laz Diaz with the call. And now the Pirates have 2 men on.
Slider down and in, and fish weren't biting. He did not swing. Kept it back.
So 2 aboard with 1 out. And now Gregory Polanco. Polanco came off the DL yesterday.
I like.
First start in 12 days.
I like his song.
Do you happen to know?
No, I have no idea
who the artist is?
No, I have no idea, but I love it.
Get out your Shazam. The next time he comes up, we'll find out. Polanco hitting at .252, only 1 home run. Hit 22 home runs last year in a breakout season for him. So this has been a more difficult start for him.
He's got 2 guys out of that lineup that hit behind him. And we'll get to the Lexus Met defense now, and that's the same trio that we've seen pretty much all year long. Curtis, of course, playing against the right-handers. Reyes moves to third as Cabrera comes back for taking over the shortstop duties. And Rene Rivera, he's been a revelation of sorts.
Right now it looks like Rivera and d'Arnaud are going to pretty much share time behind the plate. d'Arnaud caught last night. Polanco lays off. Ball and a strike.
This is a nice ballpark. I like the dimensions of this park. Really, the deep part of this ballpark is in left center field. Got a funky little angle back there by the bullpen, the Pirate bullpen, the Met bullpen.
It's a great left-hand hitter's ballpark. Just 320 down the line to that 24-foot fence. Harrison at second, Bell at first with 1 out. And Polanco dribbles one up the line. That's going to stay fair, and it's an out. As Polanco did not initially run, but the ball hugged the grass. And Duda with the unassisted put out for the 2nd out of the inning as the runners move up.
Well, as a first baseman here, you want to come and rush to get to that ball as fast as you can. Don't let it go foul. Looked like he might have lost his footing there coming out of the box. I don't know.
You're being very kind. Your knee must be feeling better today.
No, it's not. I've seen everything this year, so I have to let 80% of it pass, or else I'd be Mr. Critical.
Here's David Freese, the former World Series hero, and he takes a strike. Freese, who made his name with the Cardinals during that 2011 postseason when he was the NLCS and World Series MVP. Filling in at third base now with Jung Ho Kang gone for the long term. What a blow that was for the Pirates. Kang arrested 3 times for DUI, was finally convicted, and now can't get a visa to come back to the U.S. as a result. He was a terrific find for them, but now not here.
He appealed and it was overruled, and he's stuck in South Korea.
And of course, their fine center fielder Starling Marte suspended for 80 games for steroid use. So they're down a couple of important pieces on their offense. Freese swings at the up and in fastball, and DeGrom has a strikeout to strand a pair. First strikeout of the night for DeGrom. A soft single and a walk give the Pirates a chance, but DeGrom finds his way out of it. No score after 1 in Pittsburgh. Lucas Duda leads off against Chad Kuhl. Lucas's bat appears to be coming around. Had a good series against the Padres, 5 for 10 with a double and a home run.
Much needed to get Lucas back in the groove. Missed a lot of time.
And he had a little bit of a flashback moment last night, a play at first base where he had to reach into the runner.
Yes.
And got his glove out of the way in time.
It was amazing that that ball did not strike the runner.
Down to the count 0-2, and he lifts one on the left side foul. That'll go out of play. Last night, his first home run in better than 6 weeks.
Oh, he got one down the middle.
Hit it through the fog and into the bullpen.
Almost to the Wise potato chip sign.
That is the only run Dinelson Lamet gave up in his major league debut. So he got the win for the Padres. Lucas drives this one toward the wall and right. And that ball is off the fence, bouncing away from Polanco. Duda to second, and he'll pull in there with a leadoff double. That ball was sinking as it got to the wall, and Polanco might have had a chance to catch it, but had already, I think, given up on it. And it came off the fence and bounced past him.
Well, Polanco did not play this ball well off the wall. There's the swing, a little out in front. Let go with one hand. Little rainbow out there. Polanco just really is lucky that ball didn't carry him off harder. Lucas would have had a triple. Well, sure he would have. Would it have been his first career triple?
No, he's had triples.
Sure.
Just not. You don't think of Lucas as a triples guy. Here's Asdrubal Cabrera. His first start since coming back from the DL. Asdrubal pinch hit last night and grounded into a double play in the 8th inning as the Mets were trying to rally. Last start was in Milwaukee on May the 13th, so that's about 2 weeks. So Asdrubal, who was swinging a good bat when he went down, looking to pick up where he left off. That's with a pair of 2 base hits already against Kuhl, and Cabrera pops one up into shallow left center. Who's going to get it? In comes Frazier, the left fielder, to make the basket catch. Everybody froze when that ball went up. McCutchen didn't react well. Frazier didn't react well. It looked for a moment as though Mercer, the shortstop, was going to have to go out and get it. And finally, Frazier came in to make the play.
I'm not seeing a lot of range from Frazier out in left field. I mean, that's the biggest part of the ballpark right there. That's a lot of responsibility on McCutchen.
I mean, the sun should no longer be a factor. The shadows have moved out past the outfield fence. Although McCutchen still has the sunglasses up on his cap. So Duda still at second with one out. Here's Curtis Granderson. And these are important days for Curtis, with the news that Yoenis Cespedes tonight is beginning his rehab assignment down in Port St. Lucie. And there's every chance Cespedes could be rejoining the Mets as early as early next week.
This has not been a ballpark that's been friendly to Curtis over the years.
He has been swinging the bat better lately, though. Over the last 9 games, hitting .320 with a couple of home runs, and little by little his batting average is starting to creep up. But the fact of the matter is, the Mets are going to have too many outfielders once Cespedes comes back, and with Conforto going so well and Bruce a fixture, it's going to be hard for Curtis to find playing time if everybody stays healthy. 2-1. Duda at second with one out. And Granderson goes after the slider, and it's 2-2.
And that's been Curtis's bugaboo here. He just can't lay off that hard slider, breaking ball in the dirt, which means to me that he's starting too quick.
Rene Rivera waiting on deck. 2-2 from Cole. Yeah, it's away 3-2. Now, how much of that do you think is a concession to age? The guys start to cheat a little bit once they get a little bit older.
That's not cheating, Gary. I think that's more the negative waves going through your brain. Okay, I'm not quick enough like I used to. The balls are beating me. Then you tell yourself, start quicker, and that is not the thing to do. It's hard to stay back.
Toward the hole. Mercer can't get it, base hit. Duda being waved around third. He'll come in to score. Curtis Granderson finds a hole and drives in the first run of the night, and the Mets lead at 1-0.
Well, we've been seeing Curtis going to the opposite field a lot more too, Gary, of late. Hitting some balls down the left field line. They're giving him that hole. Little backdoor slider, not much of one, and take advantage of it. And they're playing that pull. Hey, you want to give me that left side? I'll take it. There's the thundering herd rounding third. Scoring easily.
The thundering herd. Like Marshall? That's a call strike to Rene Rivera. Rene's bat has cooled down a tad since his 11-game hitting streak. He's gone 1 for 13. He's still hitting an impressive .287 for the year. So the Mets with 3 hits now. Granderson drives in the first run of the night. 7 RBIs in his last 10 games for Curtis. Ooh, and scooped out on a hop by Cervelli on a spiked fastball. 1-1.
And you can see Cool here. A little erratic. He's got a lot of pitches that really escape him. Not even close. He's got a good arm, but they're just rushing the kids up today.
One and 2 to Rivera. Cool is 24 years old. Half a season in the big leagues under his belt last year. Pirates pitching overall has been pretty good. Their bullpen has been solid. Garrett Cole has pitched very well, but got no run support. He only has 2 wins despite a 3.3 ERA. Ivan Nova's been good, pitching deep into games. Went 8 1/3 yesterday.
Well, looking at the ERAs in the National League, only 4 teams with team earned run averages under 4.
Yep, scoring is up. Long hold, and then time asked for by Rivera. Well, what the Pirates have done well with their pitching is they haven't walked people. They've issued the 2nd fewest walks of any staff in the league. But Kuhl, who's pitching tonight, kind of an aberration. His walks are up this year. Nearly 4 per 9 innings. Rene hits one slowly. Freeze comes in. His only play is at first. And that's the second out as Granderson moves to second. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience with the MLB.com and Bat app. Get New York Mets home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat today.
I watched the broadcast last night right here from beautiful downtown Pittsburgh, Garen, inside a restaurant on MLB at Bat. Picked up your broadcast.
Isn't technology great? Here's Jacob deGrom, who's had a great year swinging the bat, 6 for 20, so he's a 300 hitter. And his lifetime batting average has crept up to 198. He's almost a lifetime Mendozan.
He is a serious threat up at the dish, and he's going to hit a home run before his career is over.
This would be the perfect park for it with that short right field. He's facing a pitcher, though, whose best quality is that he keeps the ball in the ballpark. Kuhl's only given up 3 home runs in 9 starts this year. Right now, Jake just trying to pick up Granderson from second base with 2 out. Mets have a run home here in the second. And deGrom goes after a high fastball, 1-2.
Is it my monitor, or does Jacob look like he's like 7 feet tall up there? Look at that.
Well, he is a tall guy.
Yes, he is.
He's so slender, it makes him look even taller. He's got a Whippets body.
Yes, very good, Gary. You got in at 4 in the morning last night, I heard.
It was a late arrival. Sat on the tarmac for a couple hours before we took off.
That means the team got here at 4 in the morning, folks.
I know you slept well.
I did. I was wondering why I didn't hear it, because, you know, folks, they put the team on one floor, and they put the media on a different floor on the same level. So usually when I'm there early, I can hear the doors slamming all at once when everybody gets in. I didn't hear anything last night.
We tried to be quiet for you, Keith. Rob fouls one away, and it's 2-2.
Now I understand. It was 4 in the morning.
Well, the good news is, if there is any good news these days for this team, is that they played 9 innings without a rain delay last night, because that certainly didn't appear as though it was going to be in the cards when the day began.
It looked like a miserable night.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming to deGrom. And Jake hits one toward the middle of the diamond, and Harrison is over to get it. And that retires the side. Mets settle for 1 run on Granderson's RBI single. 1-0 New York in the second. $30 ticket offer during the May 29th through June 4th games to promote Michael Conforto as a write-in candidate for the 2017 All-Star Game. Through this offer, tickets will be sold on a first-come, first-served basis and are subject to availability. For tickets, visit Mets.com/Conforto. Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Jacob deGrom, since his debut in 2014, 6th in the major leagues in starters ERA, behind a pretty good group. Well, here is Andrew McCutchen in a very unfamiliar spot, hitting 6th in the batting order for the Pirates. Andrew McCutchen, who won the MVP in 2013, finished in the top 5 in the MVP for 4 straight years, slumped last year and has slumped far more significantly early this year. He pulls one down to third and Reyes handles it and throws him out one away. I mean, Andrew McCutchen is just 30 years old, Keith, and it's hard to believe that his skills could have eroded this much at this point in his career.
Well, I don't think his skills have eroded. For whatever reason, he's in a slump, not performing. This has been bled over from last season.
We're talking about a year and a half now.
Exactly. He's hitting 162 against right-hand pitching, Gary. And you know, your prime years are 28 to 32. You should be in 5th gear, and you know, if you're healthy.
And it's not just his offense. I mean, his defense deteriorated so much last year that they were playing Starling Marte in center field before Marte got suspended, and McCutchen was moved over to the corner. So it's one of those really puzzling things, because we're talking about a guy who was one of the best players in the game for a 4-year period.
Yes.
And it just doesn't usually go that way at that age. Francisco Cervelli at the plate, former Yankee, hitting .258. He's been hot lately, 9 for his last 17. But you know, you build your franchise around a player like an Andrew McCutchen, and you count on him for a certain level of production year after year. And you may have a down year, but to have as prolonged a period as he's had is really unusual. Absent some acute injury problem, and he's had a few injuries along the way. On the outside corner, deGrom gets Cervelli looking for the second out.
Looking for a breaking ball. Got a fastball away. Go sit down.
So 2 out and nobody on. And now Jordy Mercer, the shortstop, and he's been hot lately. The Pirates had really been struggling offensively until these last 8 games, when they're averaging nearly 6 runs per game. They were benefited by a 4-game series in Atlanta, and as we've seen, SunTrust Park is going to yield a lot of runs. I mean, poor Bartolo Colon, he picked the worst possible year to go to Atlanta and try to pitch there.
Yeah, but the 1st and 15th are the same in Atlanta as they are in New York.
I understand that.
And I agree with you. And it is a bandbox. I kind of love that sleeping room. They have the bunks. I really like that.
You know, it's great that we were able to take that inside look at the Braves clubhouse and all its amenities. We should probably make that a series, take you around every ballpark.
Folks, if you didn't see that when we were in Atlanta. They have a quiet room for the players with
aromatherapy.
Aromatherapy. Think about that. I don't want my players mellow before a game. I want them up and have angst ready to rip someone's throat out. Not sitting there going, oh, how nice. I feel great today.
3-1 coming. Mercer takes a strike, 3-2.
But the room with the bed bunks. Gosh, you're out late one night. You got a day game the next day. Skip, can I skip BP? I want to go take a nap.
So let me get this straight. Mellow bad, sleep good.
Yes.
Okay. 3-2 coming, and it's fouled off. I'd still like to explore this rip the throat out thing. Isn't that more of a football mentality?
No, I
you
shouldn't.
got to play 162 games.
Well, Maybe it was a little exaggeration.
Again, the 3-2 to Mercer. And it's grounded toward the hole. Cabrera runs around the backhand of a long throw. Duda with a stretch, and they got him. Side retired. Nice play by Cabrera to throw out Jody Mercer and end the inning. 1-2-3 for DeGrom in the bottom of the second after he got the lead. Good to have Cabrera back. 1-0 New York. Bridge spanning the Allegheny River, one of the 3 rivers.
Yes.
Where the Allegheny and the Monongahela combine to form the Ohio, the confluence of the 3 rivers. Michael Conforto lifts one down the left field line. That'll go foul out of play. Never would have known the word confluence were it not for the city of Pittsburgh and the ballpark that sat at the confluence of the 3 rivers.
Well, I knew what that was because I played in St. Louis, where the confluence of the Missouri goes into the Mississippi.
But the ballpark in St. Louis doesn't sit on the river.
No, it doesn't.
But Lindsey Nelson always used to tell us that 3 Rivers Stadium, which was named thus because it was right at the confluence, was indeed at the confluence.
Right.
Slider for a strike to Conforto, 1-2.
Have we showed the folks downtown here the beautiful view from this park? How gorgeous it is. They really did a spectacular job.
It's one of the great settings in all of baseball, with downtown Pittsburgh right across the Allegheny from the ballpark.
That bridge over there over center field is the Roberto Clemente Bridge. They shut down traffic. When did they shut it down? Around 4?
Yeah, a few hours before the game, so folks can walk across.
You walk across. We walk home to the hotel. The hotel, like just a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Well, a hop, limp, and a jump for you.
Playing Conforto to pull here. We have not seen that much. Big shift.
Michael struck out on 3 pitches his first time up tonight, just as he did last night.
There's the defense right there, folks. You can see the right of the infield. This is a bit unusual. You would make me think, if I was a hitter, okay, they're going to pitch me in.
Not always the case. But away that time, 2-2, especially with the sinker ball pitcher on the mound.
Really?
You would figure that that left side of the infield would be prime territory for Conforto, especially with 2 strikes.
You know what I figured out when they put these shifts on too, and they leave the third baseman's way over in the shortstop position. You always notice the left fielder is playing like a dead pull right-hand hitter, so they can cover the left field line, because the left side of the infield is completely open.
Well, I think also with a guy like Conforto, who hits so many balls in the air to left field, you've got to play him that way.
Still say you get, it's the same principle as what Ken Boyer told me in the infield. You know, take away the hole, you're going to get hurt more in the hole than you are down the line. Same principle in the outfield.
Ninth pitch of the at bat, and Conforto launches one out to center field. McCutchen back in the gap and gets there on the warning track for the first out. 9-pitch at bat, and Conforto flies out, one away. Now Jose Reyes. We had a foul pop-up that Freese was able to catch over his shoulder in the first inning. This has been a fun ballpark for Jose. 347 lifetime at PNC Park, which is the second highest of any visiting player. Only Albert Pujols has a higher average in this ballpark than Reyes.
And interesting on the other end, Granderson is second lowest in batting average at this ballpark.
You would think this would be a great ballpark for Curtis.
It's just funny how that works.
Right field.
It's funny how that works.
But coming into the night, Curtis was hitting .088 at this park, although better after his base hit first time up. 1-2 now to Reyes. Reyes strikes out, but the ball goes to the backstop, and Reyes will wind up on first base. Well, he swung at a slider in the dirt that Cervelli had no chance to stop, and Reyes strikes out and reaches first on the wild pitch.
I wonder if he got crossed up here. Slider? No.
Well, they may call that a pass ball. You know, he has a tendency to try and backhand balls rather than block them, and that time it bit him. So the Mets have a runner at first with one out, and now Jay Bruce, who hit a long double to left center his first time up, and Cool moves him back off the plate. They did call it a wild pitch against Cool, his first wild pitch of the season. Which is a little surprising for a sinker slider guy. You think of those guys as keeping the ball down and maybe throwing more than the average numbers of wild pitches.
That's where you got to have a good catcher back there, Gare. A little backhand by Cervelli. It didn't work.
Reminds me of the old line about the Euchre line about catching the knuckleball.
Yes. We love that one.
Best way to catch the knuckleball is wait till it stops rolling and pick it up. Or the other great line came from Casey Stengel when the Mets went through the expansion draft in the winter of '61. Before they played their first game, their first pick in the expansion draft was a catcher, Hobie Landreth. And Casey explained that Hobie Landreth was their first pick because if you don't have a catcher, you have a lot of pass balls.
Casey.
1-1 to Bruce with Reyes aboard, and a goose throw to first base. What was that? It's almost like Cool lost his cool throwing to first base. Reyes has not done a ton of running. He has 5 steals this year. Bruce foul tips that one, 1-2.
Remember the I believe he was a left-hander in the '60s for the Cincinnati Reds. Billy McCool, hard-throwing lefty, but he was Irish. Cool sounds like a very Germanic name.
The way he spells it, K-U-H-L. He's ahead on Bruce 1-2, and it's up high. He's throwing hard, 97 miles an hour on that four-seamer.
And he's wild enough where as a hitter, you know, you can't get a feel for what he's trying to do because sometimes he loses command. Playing Bruce for the pull.
Three infielders on the right side. And Bruce hits it in the air to center field. McCutchen back. He has room. Tagging at first is Reyes. He's going to stay put, though, as McCutchen sails it in. And that's the second out. So 2 away. Reyes still at first.
McCutchen sure had a lot of smiles on his face for a guy hitting 203.
He said to the media before the game tonight, when Clint Hurdle posted the lineup with him batting 6th, that he was looking forward to it. And he felt as though hitting 3rd, sometimes you put too much pressure on yourself, and maybe this would be a good thing.
That's the right attitude.
Did it ever happen to you? Get dropped in the order?
Latter, when Jeffries came up. I actually went into Davey's office. I remember when Jeffries came up and had the great September for us. That was 88.
88, yeah.
And I told Davey in spring, I said, Davey, I'm getting a little older. You know, if you want speed up top, you want to hit Jeffries 3rd, and you want to move me down to 6 or whatever, I'll be more than happy to go down. Got him. Oh, sorry, folks. I didn't mean to scream in your ear.
I do it all the time.
I thought he had him here. I was close.
It was close.
But Davey said, nope, you're my 3rd hitter. I said, okay. But because we had so much speed at the top.
Oh, yeah, Dykstra and Mookie. And
yep. Wally.
Wally was gone then. 89.
Was he gone?
89, yeah.
Where'd he go?
Went to Minnesota.
That's right.
Walker flied to center his first time up. See if Reyes runs on 0-2. Not going. And it's off the corner. 1-2. That's got a run off Cool in the second inning due to double. Granderson singled him home. Cervelli setting up inside. And Walker pulls one deep right field, going down the line toward the stands. It's out of here. Neil Walker comes home with a 2-run homer. Number 5 for Walker, and the Mets have a 3-0 lead. His first home run as a visiting player at PNC Park. Just tucked it over that 24-foot wall above the 320-foot marker. And Walker celebrates his homecoming with a 2-run shot.
Well, the wild pitch on the swinging strike 3 to Reyes set him up for this. Ball bled out over the middle, Gare. And he continues his hot bat. This inning should have been over.
Well, the 4th home run Chad Kuhl has given up in 10 starts this year. Duda scored the first Met run. He doubled off that right field wall in the second inning. That's now with 3 runs and 4 hits against Kuhl. And 3 of their 4 hits have been for extra bases. And Duda gets tied up on the slider, 0-2.
That's the problem with sinker ball pitchers, is that when you want to throw inside to the cross plate hitter, righty to a lefty, but you've really got to throw a 4-seamer, a dart.
Duda flies one out to left center. Frazier is there to get it. And that retires the side, but not before Neil Walker hits his 5th home run of the year. The Pittsburgh kid back in Pittsburgh. It's a 2-run shot. Mets and Jacob deGrom lead 3-0 in the 3rd. Walker looked a little nervous last year when he came back to play in his hometown. No nerves tonight. A 2-run homer off a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and the Mets have a 3-0 lead. Pirates pitcher Chad Kuhl batting 0 for 9 this year, 2 for 32 in his major league career. And DeGrom quickly ahead of him 0-2. Jake gave up a soft single and a walk in the first inning, was able to get through trouble, and then pitched a 1-2-3 second. After Kuhl, it's Adam Frazier and Josh Harrison at the top of the Pirates batting order against DeGrom. What the Mets need more than anything else is for Jacob DeGrom to get very deep into this game.
You know, before they made the move this morning, bringing up Pill from AAA.
There's the third strikeout for DeGrom as he gets Kuhl, 1 out.
I was looking at the roster. I was preparing my card in the morning, and I write in the bullpen and I go, okay, Seawall threw 3 plus.
They just threw 2 yesterday.
Who they got if he gets knocked out early? They got nobody.
Well, that's why Pill is here more than anything else. Now he might get a chance to start next week in that open spot. You know, Malone's on the DL, Montero's back in the minors, but they haven't even gone that far yet.
Well, you've got Gazelman, who's threw a decent ball game, a much better game. But you also got to take into consideration the Padre lineup was, even though they took 2 out of 3 from the Mets, it's not a lineup that strikes fear in the hearts of pitchers.
1-1 to Frazier, who grounded out his first time up. It's a problem. I mean, this pitching staff right now is a mess. You know, you've got an overworked bullpen. Terry basically has 2 guys down there he can trust in Blevins and Reed, and everything else is kind of a crapshoot. Frazier takes an ugly hack, and it's 1-2.
I just ate him up inside.
But Tyler Pill's an interesting guy because, you know, he was at Vegas this year. The 4th year he's pitched at Vegas, and all of a sudden it clicked in. That's hit sharply, but right at Walker down to a knee, and he takes care of Frazier, 2 out. Frazier half stepping it to first base. That's not what you expect.
Is he just off the DL though with the hand?
No, he's been back for a couple of weeks.
That's a little surprising.
Yeah. And he's been red hot. He just didn't run hard. I mean, you're talking about a young player there who's supposed to be a spark plug kind of guy, and that was not a spark plug kind of effort. So 2 out and nobody on. Now Josh Harrison, who reached for a pitch that was basically on the ground in the other batter's box and hit it into right field for the only hit against DeGrom. This time bunting for a hit, and he can walk to first base. What a perfect bunt by Josh Harrison. Told you before he batted in the first inning, he always gives the Mets fits. Well, he's doing it again.
Well, Reyes likes to play deep at third, and I'm surprised that more people don't bunt to start off innings with Reyes playing so deep. And he plays deep because Jose is a shortstop. He's more used to having the ball come to him and more time to think. If I was an opposing manager, I would force him to come in on that cut of the grass, make him as uncomfortable as possible at third base.
Well, Harrison aboard at first. He stole a base in the first inning. And now he's at first with 2 out. Josh Bell, the batter. Bell walked on a 3-2 breaking ball his first time up.
Well, 2 of the best bunters I ever saw in my lifetime was Maury Wills with the Dodgers. He was phenomenal with that kind of bunt down the third base line, and a Gold Glove third baseman in Jim Davenport the Giants had then, and Buddy Harrelson.
Red Butler was great at bunting.
Yes, he was. He was also very good.
Don't see too many guys do it with regularity anymore.
No.
Because D. Gordon might be the best practitioner with the Marlins. DeGrom asked for. DeGrom was about to start his delivery and held on to the ball. Always worry about pitchers getting hurt when they do that.
Yeah.
Probably better off just going through with the pitch.
Throwing a soft toss. It's hard to. You're in gear. You're in a throwing mode. You know. It's kind of hard to turn the light switch off.
Bell tries to hold and stopped it in time. 2-0. Josh Bell, 24 years old, second round pick by the Pirates out of high school in Texas in 2011. He's still a rookie. Had just few enough at bats last year to qualify this season with rookie status. He's got 9 home runs, which is tied for the most in the National League among rookies. And now DeGrom behind him, 3-0.
Got to be careful of a hit sign here, even though you're down 3 runs. Just keep it away.
Bell swings, flies it out to left. Conforto back, has room, and that retires the side. So Bell gets the hit sign on 3-0 and flies out. And DeGrom's got 3 scoreless innings and a 3-0 lead. Fantastic, first 2 months. That continued. Fourth inning in Pittsburgh. Mets with a 3-0 lead as Drupal Cabrera leads off against Chad Kuhl, who gave up a 2-run homer to Neil Walker in the 3rd. And Cabrera fouls back the first pitch fastball, 0-1. As Drupal making his first start since coming off the disabled list. Flied out to left his first time up. Cabrera, Granderson, and Rivera for the Mets. 6, 7, and 8 in the order in the 4th inning. Changeup misses, a ball and a strike. Terry said before the game he probably doesn't have Addison Reed tonight. If he needs a closer, it might well be Jerry Blevins. Which is not a bad thing because Blevins has been the Mets' most consistent relief pitcher.
And he's got a lot of appearances, and it looks alarming, but he's not a guy that goes, more than an inning.
So the game plan tonight is DeGrom 8, Blevins 1.
That would be ideal.
Ground ball just foul. But how many 8s have the Mets gotten this year?
Oh, they got a 7 just recently with the same guy out here right now 5 days ago.
Exactly. They got 7 from DeGrom. They got a 7 from Gesellman earlier this year. But they have not gotten an 8. Maybe it's time to get one. Or several. 1-2 coming. And he went around on the half swing. Cabrera did not like that call. Doug Eddings making it himself without asking for help.
Well, I'd like an umpire to be forceful, but I didn't think he swung here.
Well, certainly it wasn't so blatant that he shouldn't have asked Laz Diaz for help. I agree with you. I didn't think he swung. Third strikeout for Cool.
Oh, it's just so surprising today. Usually umpires ask for help. I think too much.
Do you think they asked less in your day?
Yes. A lot of umpires, I would go, hey, ask for help, and they go, no. Frank Pulley was one of those. They
Once they called it on you, it's too late. They're not going to ask for help.
Oh, there are occasions. Well, that's true. You're right.
I mean, if they don't call it and the catcher asks for help, that's different. Granderson pops one up, and Mercer waiting for it to come down. 2 out. So Cool looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. Has retired the first 2. And now Rene Rivera, who had a slow ground ball to third his first time up. And Rene cracks one into center field for a base hit. So no 1-2-3 inning for Cool. He's not here in the 4th, and Rivera has a 2-out single.
Well, more importantly, he flips the lineup for next inning as DeGrom comes up, and DeGrom is a threat to keep this thing going.
Jake grounded out to second base his first time up. And he lines one into right center for a base hit. Rivera to second. He'll stop right there as Polanco picks it up quickly. Well, Rene Rivera understands his shortcomings as far as his wheels and wasn't going to try to go first to third with 2 out.
I think he had it, though. This ball was ripped by DeGrom. I know he doesn't run well, but I think he could have had third, but it's moot.
Well, after watching Rene try to steal a base when we were in Milwaukee on the last road trip, I think he's been chasing.
How he has a green light and thinks he can do that on his own is beyond me.
Excellent question.
Oh, and how about Meyer stealing third in the San Diego series with 2 out? Now, to me, you know what, Gary? I'm sitting home watching that. That's the manager's fault. It should be no one has a green light to steal third base unless you get a sign or you have a. Myers is not a Lou Brock.
No, he can steal an occasional base.
Or a D. Gordon.
No. But with,
you know,
with 2 out on second base, you have to be successful 100% of the time.
Right.
Otherwise, it's a terrible play.
I think no one should have a green light at third base unless the manager gives a signal, unless they are high-end base stealers.
So now Michael Conforto with 2 out and 2 on. Michael has struck out and fly to center tonight. By the way, for DeGrom, that was his 7th hit of the season. Continues to shine with the bat, and that gets him over 200 for his career. Off-speed pitch by Cool, and it's 1-1 to Conforto.
They're starting to throw Conforto a lot of garbage now. A lot of breaking stuff and a lot of changeup.
Michael hits one the other way, but right at Frazier, and that retires the side. Hit it hard, but the liner caught by Adam Frazier. Mets strand 2 in the 4th, still lead 3-0. Concerto as Adam Rubin talks with the Mets rising star about his success being compared to Aaron Judge and overcoming adversity in the past on Mets Block, presented by Citi, featured on SNY.TV. Beautiful night in Pittsburgh. Temperature in the 60s. Weather has cleared after clouds and rain earlier today. Start of the weekend series. Mets and Bucks play tomorrow night and Sunday night. Mets are back home for a Memorial Day late afternoon affair against the Brewers on Monday. Will be our next assignment.
Yep. Monday, 4 o'clock game Monday.
4 o'clock game.
Why is it not 1?
Because they have the Sunday night game here at 8 o'clock.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
That's why. Gregory Polanco leads off in the home fourth. Polanco grounded out his first time up against DeGrom, who's given up 2 hits, both to Josh Harrison, both of the soft variety, a dunker and a bunt. So DeGrom, coming off 7 scoreless in his last start against the Angels, has been right on top of his game again tonight.
Good fastball up and in. Let him take that big rip. Good spot.
One to Polanco. Buries the changeup in the dirt. 2-1. Polanco, then David Freese and Andrew McCutchen for the Pirates in the fourth. That's driven to deep right center field. Back goes Granderson, takes a look, and it's out of here. Gregory Polanco, his first start back from the disabled list, just his second home run of the season. And the Pirates are on the board. It's now 3-1 New York.
Big cut. Wanted it away and looked like he got it there. He just covered it. Big, long, powerful swing from Polanco. I would stay inside on him and crowd him. Polanco, that is. Look at the big swing here. Big power swing.
22 home runs last year, but just his second of this season to get the Pirates on the board. And now it's 0-2 to David Freese. Did you see what they did in the ballpark after the home run? They flashed all of the stadium lights and shot off fireworks.
Excuse me.
And I saw DeGrom. There's a strikeout of Freese for the first out of the inning. I saw DeGrom looking up to say, "What the heck is going on?"
How about the announcer? The PA system, but what the PA guy was saying too. It was unusual. Like Ringling, Barnum, and Bailey, who, by the way, had their last show.
It's very sad. Not sad. Gregory Polanco. 4 strikeouts now for DeGrom. And now McCutchen takes a slider out of the zone. Ball 1. Jake's now given up 8 home runs this year in 59 innings of work. McCutchen fouls it back, and it's 1-1. Andrew McCutchen, 5-time All-Star. Trying to figure out what's going on. Last year, he had 256, 24 homers, 79 RBIs, which is not a bad year for some guys, but certainly not up to his standards. And he had to really have a hot September to even get those numbers. And now this year, trying just to stay above 200. 1-2 coming. Up and in. And he stopped it in time. 2-2. And a check swing foul.
Tying him up inside. 2 in a row. I think it's time to drop a hammer on him outside, or even a fastball away. There's a fastball away. Good call.
2-2 coming. On the outside corner, got him looking. So back-to-back strikeouts for DeGrom after the Polanco home run. 2 out.
Good call by Rene. 2 pitches inside, and a lot of times, Gary, as a hitter, pitchers think that after they've busted inside twice, that to go away, throw a breaking ball. That fastball gets there faster, and if you got a hitter worried and you pop that fastball in the outside corner, you're not going to catch up to it.
So you're saying if you throw the breaking ball away, you still might have time to adjust and at least foul it off?
Foul it off, and you might hang it too. I firmly believe that, and that's been said forever, this is no great revelation, pitchers get hurt more on breaking balls than they do on their fastball.
We have midges.
Yep. Midges?
Well, that was the bug in Cleveland that bedeviled Jabba Chamberlain in the postseason, remember?
Yep.
Maybe it's just gnats. I don't know the difference between a midge and a gnat, but they're both rather annoying.
There's also Noisiums down in Florida. They're a little tinier than a gnat. They can get through the screens, the screen holes. Brutal.
Shouldn't be legal. Grounded slowly, fair ball. Reyes with the running throw in time to get Cervelli. Nice play by Jose to end the inning. Gregory Polanco leads off the inning with his second home run of the year. But that's all the Pirates get. A couple of strikeouts and a nice play by Reyes get DeGrom through the 4th. 3-1 New York. Contribute $2,500 to Northwell Health and the Cats Institute for Women's Health. The total contribution to date is $47,500. Visit northwell.edu/cats to learn more. Jose Reyes will lead off for the Mets in the 5th inning. Mets with a 3-1 lead. Chad Kuhl has thrown 83 pitches through the first 4 innings, so he probably has 1 more left in him.
Jeez, how do you do that?
Well, you run a lot of deep counts. He struck out Reyes his last time up, but Reyes reached first base on a wild pitch. Jose 0 for 2 tonight. Reyes then scored in front of Neil Walker's home run. Reyes, Bruce, and Walker for the Mets in the 5th. Generous strike call, 1-1. And Jose rockets one out to right center field. A long run back in the gap for McCutchen and Polanco, and it's off the wall. Reyes digging for second. He's going to turn and try for 3. Harrison's relay throw to third on a hop. It gets by Freeze, and Reyes is safe with a triple. Second triple of the year for Jose Reyes.
Fastball. He's getting hurt on the fastball. Out over the plate. Had to reach for it. That's how strong Jose is. Off the wall. Fumbled by McCutchen, and that enables the still speedy Jose to stretch a double into a triple.
Harrison made an accurate throw. If Freeze picks that up cleanly, they might have had him at third. But Reyes able to get in safely, and now the Pirates are going to bring the infield in. Already down 3-1. Jay Bruce at the plate. Jay has doubled and flied out, 1 for 2. And he hits one to center field. That'll get the run in. Reyes tags. McCutchen catches. And Reyes comes home to score. And it's 4-1 New York. Sacrifice fly for Jay Bruce, his 31st run batted in. And just like that, the Mets get the run back from the Polanco home run. So Reyes a triple, Bruce a sacrifice fly. That's again have a 3-run lead, and now Neil Walker, who provided that 3-run lead with a 2-run homer, tucked inside the right field foul pole in the 3rd, and he hits this one down the left field line, slicing away from Frazier, foul. Here's your high-speed pitch presented by Spectrum. Chad Kuhl topping out at 97 miles an hour. Jacob deGrom at 95. It's not often that a visiting player gets cheered when he hits a home run, but Walker did when he hit his 2-run homer in the 3rd.
Well, you remember the day, Gary, when people used to wear white shirts and ties to ball games. They would applaud the opposing pitcher. He got pulled, you know, and he walked back into the dugout. They gave him a hand.
Yes, they did. Always used to give hands to superstar players when guys like Willie Mays and Hank Aaron came to town. Those days are mostly past, but it's different for Neil, a favorite son. And he'll always be a Pittsburgh guy. You know, the Mets were on the plane last night waiting to take off when the Penguins won in double overtime last night. And Neil, of course, is a huge Penguins fan, and there was much ruckus in his section of the plane when that winning goal was scored.
Well, when I had dinner last night at a place called Eddie V's around 4 blocks from the hotel, the streets were empty. Everybody was at the hockey game match. What do you call it? A game match?
Either one.
I did not grow up with hockey.
You were pre-California Golden Seals?
Charlie O's. You know what? I went to one hockey game when I was in high school, and they had they had their home whites, and they were baby blue. They were like camouflaged into the ice.
Jill Meloche, the goalie for the California Golden Seals. Seventh pitch of the at bat to Walker, and he takes the breaking ball in the dirt and runs the count full.
They played over the old Oakland Coliseum. There's the Penguins. They love their Penguins here.
Yes, they do. They've had a lot of success over the last couple of decades.
Boy, they sure have.
Long turn at bat here for Walker. As Coole's pitch count continues to run up to 95 pitches now. The Pirates bullpen quiet for the moment. They're trying to get Coole through this 5th inning. He's then due a turn at bat in the bottom of the 5th. Worked 5 innings in his last start against the Phillies. Much more successful than tonight, and there is action. Yan Marinez, who we saw in a Milwaukee uniform a couple of weeks ago, now a Pirate.
And Walker, it's another one deep to right field. Polanco merely takes a look, and that is out of here. Neil Walker's 2nd home run of the night. A doubly happy homecoming for Neil, and it's 5-1 New York.
And he gets another hand. Maybe not quite as happy as the first one. But a big night for Walker back in his hometown.
Got to feel good about that.
And looks like that's going to be all for Chad Coole.
Fastball down the Piperoni. That might have been a slider. It was meant to be backdoor, and it threw it right down the old Broadway.
So Coole is done after 4 1/3. Yan Marinez will come out of the Pittsburgh bullpen. That's now with a 5-1 lead. The call to the bullpen is brought to you by Verizon. We'll be right back. Yan Marinez on in relief for the Pirates. His 3rd appearance since they got him on waivers from the Brewers. Lucas Duda takes outside, ball 1.
There are his numbers. He pitched against the Mets in Milwaukee, but not very good against lefties. They're torching them.
Lucas Duda 1 for 2 tonight, a double and a fly ball out, and he takes outside 2-0. Neil Walker with his 5th career multiple home run game. 2-run homer in the 3rd, home run in the 5th, and Neil has reached a milestone tonight. Now has 500 career runs batted in. And the fastball misses to Duda, 3-0. So Walker having himself a night on his first night back sleeping in his own bed. And ball 4 to Duda. So Marinez comes in, walks Duda on 4 pitches, and now he'll take on Asdrubal Cabrera with a man on. Final line on Chad Coole. He threw 96 pitches over 4 1/3. Gave up 5 runs and 8 hits. No walks, 3 strikeouts, a wild pitch, and 2 home runs.
So it'll be his 9th outing without a W. There's no chance here to get a win. The only thing he can get is another loss.
There's Cabrera, who's flied out and struck out in his first start off the disabled list. And he lines one to left center. That's a base hit. Duda around second. He'll go to third. Cut off deep by McCutchen. Cabrera heads to second, and he's in standing with a double. And the Mets have second and third and one out. So Cabrera with his first hit since coming back from the DL.
What do you do with sinker ballers? You're a left-hand hitter? Exactly that. Drive that ball into the opposite field gap.
So the infield comes in with second and third and one out. Curtis Granderson the batter. Curtis has already driven in a run with a second inning single. Popped to short, 1 for 2. And takes a slider at his feet for ball one. You see those gnats or midges or whatever they are continuing to swarm. Maybe that means summer's coming. The weather has been so unseasonably cool for late May everywhere. But maybe it's going to take a turn for the better.
Another one of those no springs and right into summer. A lot of rain everywhere.
Granderson fouls back the fastball. Now it's 1-2. The inning began with Reyes banging one off the wall in right center for a triple. Bruce drove him in with a sac fly. Walker then hit his second home run of the game to knock Cool out. Reyes has come in and thrown some gasoline on the fire with a walk to Duda. Gave up a double to Cabrera. And now Granderson trying to cash in with the infield in. 1-2 coming. Fouled it back. It's a high slider that time. Granderson couldn't get on top of it. 28-year-old Yan Marinez, whom we first saw in a Marlins uniform. He's bounced around. Granderson hits one foul off the left side. Still 1-2. Duda at third, Cabrera at second. And Curtis takes ball 2. 2-2. Seventh pitch of the at bat coming from Marinez to Granderson. And it's in the dirt. Cervelli knocks it down. And a full count. And so another deep count.
Yes. Will it be another walk?
Well, I don't think the Pirates would be heartbroken if Granderson walks. That would set up the double play for Rivera on deck. So he's likely to see another breaking ball on 3-2. He gets the fastball and fouls it off. And that'll prompt another meeting. Cervelli out to talk to Marinez as Rivera waits to follow. He's trying to get off to a fast start on this road trip after a disaster their last road trip when they went 0-6 in Milwaukee and Arizona. That's actually started out the year playing very well on the road. But those 6 losses in a row really put a crimp in that. And trying to start fresh here in Pittsburgh. Pitch number 9 coming, and Granderson pops it up. Dell looking for it, doesn't know where it is. It's in the stands, or in the dugout anyway. Nobody saw that. Cervelli didn't see it. Harrison didn't see it. Dell didn't see it. And you know, we saw in the outfield earlier in the night there was some trouble with the outfielders seeing the ball.
this is the more the time of day. They don't see it. Nobody. This is the time of day here at night, even when night's falling, that it's real hard to see here in Pittsburgh.
Again, the 3-2, and Granderson nubs one to second. The runners will hold, and Harrison throws him out 2 away. So Duda not running on contact, and he sticks at third base. So now let's see what they do with Rivera, with first base open and DeGrom on deck. Jake's already got a base hit in this game. So do they walk Rivera or do they pitch to him?
I would pitch to Rivera, because you've got a pitcher out there that's bounced around and no command, and Ray Surge is going to take a walk out there. I have a little chat about this.
Well, the message you would assume is going to be, we're not walking him intentionally, but don't give him anything good to hit, which always seems like such a negative message to give a pitcher.
Depending on the pitcher, you got a guy out there who's not a command pitcher. You know, you're telling him to pull his punches. Usually ends up in disaster.
Well, you worry about a wild pitch.
Yep. And Rivera's hitting, you know, and runners in scoring position this year over 500.
Crazy, right?
Nuts.
529 with runners in scoring position.
He's right. 9 for 17, Rene, in the clutch.
Now, base hit here could play 2. Duda at third, Cabrera at second with 2 out. And Rene takes a slider for a strike. Rivera snapped an 0 for 9 with a base hit to center field his last time up. Here we are in the 5th inning, and Pirate pitchers have already thrown 113 pitches. And they've only walked 1. That's the crazy part about it. But the Mets with 5 runs and 9 hits. And still Clint is able to chuckle.
Clint's always up. Leads the league in minutes in post-game interviews.
That's ripped right at Freeze for the 3rd out.
Rene Rivera hits a bullet, but Freeze is able to snag it to end the inning. Mets get a pair on the 2nd of a pair by Walker. Halfway through in Pittsburgh. 5-1 New York. He's just cheating, that's all. The road ahead brought to you by GMC. National TV the next 2 nights. We're back with you Monday at Citi Field as the Mets open a 4-game series against the Brewers, and then the Pirates are in next weekend.
So we got 3 in the booth, the whole Brew Crew series.
I think except for the last one.
Except for that's just me.
Well, if you're there, then that would make you the only one, and then that's your last game for a while.
Yes, it is. It'll be surgery the next morning. And fix my deflected knee.
It's a good thing you have a good surgeon.
Yes.
One of our favorites is doing the surgery. 0-2 to Jordy Mercer. Strike 3 call. And DeGrom has his 6th strikeout of the night.
Another called 3rd strike on a fastball away, Garrett.
He has really been able to dot that outside corner against the right-hand hitters.
He always gets, look at that long stride.
And what he and Terry Collins have been talking about is him getting more rhythm in his arm swing, getting that arm back and going forward. And seems like he's in that kind of a groove now that he had trouble establishing last year when he had the problems with the nerve in his elbow, and again early this season, but he seems to be there now.
It's amazing. You can get into bad habits. You got a little bit of pain, and you alter your delivery, your mechanics, and boy, it can just form a bad habit that's hard to break.
Alan Hansen is the pinch hitter. Hansen hitting 196. And he tries to bunt his way on and pops it up. Easy for Reyes. And that's the 2nd out. Here's that arm swing we were talking about.
Well, Steve Carlton, I listened to the broadcast, so I know what Ronnie was explaining arm swing. Carlton comes to mind, had that beautiful, everything in sync motion, the arm coming down and swinging forward. It's a pretty good terminology for it.
There's Adam Frazier, who twice has grounded out to second base. And DeGrom buries a slider at his feet, and it's 1-1. Just off the corner. 2-1. Well, the pierogies all worn out now after the great pierogi race, which is the Pittsburgh version of the Milwaukee sausage race.
It's like an 880.
That's lined the other way and caught by Reyes as Frazier's bat snapped in half, and Reyes snatches the line drive to help DeGrom to a 1-2-3 fifth after 5-1 New York.
They're all dependent on it.
A 5-1 lead. The iPad is out because the Pirates have a new pitcher in the game, and the Mets try and figure out Johnny Barbado.
I tell you what I took out of that California Angel series was what Mike Trout said. And you see Barbado's numbers, the former Yankee. So I don't want to look at video. I don't want to think too much. I just want to see the ball and hit it. That's the best player in the game.
DeGrom hits a ground ball right at Harrison, and Barbado has an out with 1 pitch. Check out SNY.TV for a video recap of Jets OTAs with an inside look at the quarterback competition and all the highlights from the week on SNY.TV, your online home of all things New York sports.
What are OTAs?
Organized team activities.
Oh, geez.
We had to go to school on this, Keith, because neither Ronnie nor I knew.
Everything's an acronym today.
Well, that's actually not an acronym. NATO is an acronym.
What? Why is it not an acronym? It means
if they called them ODAs, then it would be an acronym.
Oh, that's right. Gotcha. Well, we could say it next time. You can say ODAs.
I could. Like Oda's the town drunk. Remember from the Andrew Griffin show?
Yes. You can't have that today, you know.
No, it's a different time.
Just like Grady and Sanford and Son.
Conforto's 0 for 3 tonight. Last time up in a bullet to left that was caught. 2-1 to Conforto. Barbado was in 13 games for the Yankees last year. Didn't fare well. They dealt him to the Pirates in mid-April, and now making his 11th appearance for Pittsburgh. He's doing a lot better for the Pirates than he was for the Yankees. Just 24 years old, Miami native. He skips one in to Conforto, and it's 3-1. It's got 5 runs and 8 hits off the starter Chad Kuhl. Jan Marinez finished up the 5th inning, gave up a double and a walk. And now Conforto working ahead in the count against Barbado with Jose Reyes on deck. And there's ball 4, and the Mets up a 1-out base runner. It is time for the Verizon trivia question. Name the 4 Pirates to strike out 200 or more batters in a season since 2000. 200 strikeouts in a season for a Pirate starter since 2000. All right, I got 1. I think I have 2. Here's Reyes. And he takes outside. Reyes tripled off the right center field fence in the 5th inning. I think I have 3.
I fold. I'm not interested.
Can you take back your ante? Conforto at first with 1 out. And time called for it. Here's what I've got. I've got A.J. Burnett.
Good one.
I got Oliver Perez.
Yes.
I've got Garrett Cole.
Okay. You go ahead. You have at it. One more left.
I'm stuck now. Well, we're going to go straight to the answer.
Okay.
Okay. Keith has already folded. He's yawning. Well,
oh, Liriano.
Francisco Liriano. Okay. So now I feel better.
You did good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's a dribbler. Barbado will go to first with it and get the out on Reyes as Conforto moves up. See, now when I first saw the question, I didn't see the qualifier since 2000, and I'm thinking Bob Veal.
Right.
No.
Candelaria.
John Candelaria.
Candy got me 4 times one game.
Steve Blass.
Did Steve Blass strike out 200?
Oh, I'm sure he did. He used to throw 270 innings, didn't he? Steve's in the booth next door doing Pirates TV.
Oh, he was the hero of that World Series. What, 1970?
71.
71, right. That's right. The Orioles won in
70. They beat the Reds.
Right, and then the Pirates can beat
the Orioles.
Beat the Orioles. Clemente, of course, had that great series, World Series.
The answer is that Steve Blass never struck out 200 in a season.
I didn't think he would.
So you're right.
He did. So
most he ever had was 147. Here's Steve
on the left.
Working with Joe Block on Pirates TV. Want to know to Bruce, who's doubled and hit a sacrifice fly, 1 for 2 tonight. Conforto at second and 2 out. And Barbado behind on Bruce 2-0 with Neil Walker looming on deck. He's never had a 3 home run game in the big leagues.
I wonder if Draybeck ever struck out 200. I believe Doug Draybeck struck out.
But John Smiley.
We already said Veal.
Two to Bruce. And it's outside. Cervelli throwing behind Conforto. And Mercer does well just to knock it down.
Well, Cervelli's one of those guys that's always active back there. He likes to throw. Reminds me of a modern day, oh gosh, who was a backup catcher? Alex Trevino. He's that kind of catch, that kind of style of catcher. I think he's better than Alex.
3-0 to Bruce. That's outside ball 4, so 2 walks in the inning. And the Mets have 2 aboard for Walker, who's already hit 2 home runs. Let's look at his first 2 on the Jeep pitch cast.
Well, first one is a fastball in. Look at it bleed out upstairs and too much plate. This one, he gets in, but it's down, and that's a wheelhouse for a left-hand hitter. There's your Jeep pitch cast.
Yes, indeed. So, Walker looking for his first ever 3 home run game. The Mets have had 1 this year. That was UNSS, but it's in Philly back in April. Conforto at second, Bruce at first with 2 out. And Neal takes a strike, a fastball from Barbado. Well, he was looking at the iPad along with Bruce, so he should be ready for whatever Barbado has in mind. All these Mets are seeing Barbado for the first time.
It's a sinker slider pitcher. Come on.
Breaking ball popped up. Mercer going back, trying to find it over the shoulder. Can't get it. Base hit. Conforto is in. Bruce goes to third. A pop fly single for Neil Walker produces his 4th RBI of the night. And the Mets now lead 6-1.
Hit him where they ain't. Tough play for Mercer. He got turned around a little bit there.
And another instance where the Pirate outfielders are not even in the picture.
They're not even in the picture. Some bad coverage out there. There's no outfielder around. I mean, I'm looking at Frazier out there, and he's going to be a 4 in Stratomatic. I guarantee you that.
So the Mets tack on a run here in the 6th. A 4 RBI night for Walker. Now here's Duda with first and third and 2 out. And Lucas pulls one, just foul. First base umpire Corey Blazer, trying to get out of the way, got turned around and waited a moment to make sure he was pointed in the right direction. He didn't want to pull a Jim Marshall.
Oh. Did not want to run the wrong way.
Or point the wrong way anyway.
Very, it wasn't an emphatic call, too. I like those umpires that get dramatic with their calls.
Ball fouled off, and it's 0-2 to Duda, who's already doubled and walked tonight, 1 for 2. That's now with 6 runs and 10 hits. The Pirates 1 run and 3 hits. Barbato walking a couple here in the 6th. That's come back to bite him. And now Duda trying to cash in further. But behind in the count, 0-2.
And he drives one to right center field. And that's down for a base hit. Polanco lets it go by him to the wall.
I think he lost in the lights.
Bruce scores. Walker scores. It's a 2-run double for Duda, and the Mets have blown the doors off this one. It's now 8-1 New York. Polanco came over. The ball dropped, and then he stopped, and the ball sailed by him.
I wonder if he lost it in the lights, Gare. That's his only out here. Otherwise, it's inexcusable. He lost it. You see his face?
He ducked away.
He definitely lost it.
Boy, this has been like the Bermuda Triangle in this Pittsburgh outfield tonight. Duda will take it. Lucas continues his hot hitting. That time with 2 strikes, driving in a pair of runs with that double.
He'll take the extra RBI. That was a legitimate single. Barbato is getting his lunch.
So Duda over the last 4 games now 7 for 13 with 3 doubles and a home run. So all of a sudden Duda, who had been struggling since his return from the disabled list, has busted out big time. And the Mets, who had a rough night with runners in scoring position last night, out of character, going 1 for 10. They're 4 for 9 tonight.
And it also opens the door for DeGrom to hopefully cruise to 7-8 innings here with this big lead. He will take the runs.
So now it's Cabrera, who doubled to left center his last time up. And as Dribble takes the breaking ball in the dirt, Cervelli knocks it down, ball 1, and Barbato really having a rough go.
Can't find the plate with his breaking ball, has to come in with his fastball, and as a result, 3 runs.
Well, he walked a pair. They both come in to score. Walker drove one in with a pop fly single. Duda with a 2-run double. And now 2-0 to Cabrera. Daniel Hudson is next man up in the Pirates bullpen, the former Diamondback. Duda at second with 2 down. Barbato behind on Cabrera, 2-0. And a curveball in for a strike, 2-1. Ernest Granderson would be next. Cabrera lines one. Harrison moving back and able to snag it to end the inning. But the Mets cash 3 in the top of the 6th. Duda with a 2-run double. It's 8-1 New York. the 6th inning. Josh Harrison leads off against Jacob deGrom. He has 2 of the 3 hits against Jake. And Harrison takes a strike. And we check in with Eamon McEnany, whose report tonight is brought to you by Volkswagen. Eamon.
Thanks, Gary. The baseball journey for Pirate infielder Gift Ngope from South Africa to Pittsburgh is really something out of a Hollywood screenplay. He literally grew up around baseball because his mother was basically the clubhouse attendant for a team, fittingly enough, called the Randburg Mets. So they lived in the clubhouse in that team's park. So he was literally around the park and around baseball all the time. And it's pretty much how he self-taught himself the game, because in South Africa, not a whole lot of people play baseball. They're more interested in cricket and soccer. So he taught himself drills, and he told me earlier today that he played catch against the wall so often at the park that he thought sometimes the wall was his best friend. And you guys were joking about the amenities and the sizes of the clubhouse in Major League Baseball today, especially the one in Atlanta. He was telling me that the clubhouses here in Major League Baseball are so much bigger than the house he lived in at the park for the Randburg Mets that sometimes he gets lost in them.
He and his mother and his brother lived in a 7-by-9-foot room off the clubhouse in that ballpark in South Africa. Harrison flies out to Brewers for the first out. It's an incredible story. There are so many threads to it, not the least of which the fact that his mom went to work in that ballpark and had to leave Gift behind with his grandparents, and it's only because Gift got sick that he moved in with his mother in the ballpark, and the team let him, he and his mom, and ultimately his brother, stay there. It's an incredible thing that he was even able to make it to this country as a professional baseball player, and now the first native African ever to play in the major leagues. It's a great thing.
I agree 100%. As baseball expands globally,
even in places that, you know, that have very little baseball, and South Africa it is certainly the case there. But as is the case so often around the world, every once in a while American military or missionaries will bring the game to a small piece of the population, and that was the case in South Africa, and that's why that small league exists, and how Gift Ngope began his journey to the big leagues. Josh Bell swings and misses, and deGrom has his 7th strikeout of the night. So Jake with the big lead now. He's rolling. That's 8 in a row he's retired.
Well, Bell's going to have problems with that big long swing of his. You know, he's got 9 home runs, but you cannot catch up with that long swing to any kind of fastball with a little bit of mustard on it.
So 2 out. Now the last man to reach against deGrom, Gregory Polanco, who stroked a home run to right center for the only Pirate run in the 4th. 2nd home run of the year for Polanco in his first start since coming back from the disabled list. He was out with a hamstring, and he fouls back the fastball. Well, certainly the goal is for deGrom to get through 7 or 8 tonight. And I wonder, with the big lead, whether Terry Collins might be inclined to throw Tyler Pill into the fire to try and finish off this game, get him his big league debut. Or do you save him for tomorrow when you might need his innings behind Wheeler?
I think you're going to save him.
I mean, Pill was scheduled to, he's been a starting pitcher in AAA, and he was scheduled to start tonight, which is the reason why he got the call. That and the fact that he's been successful in AAA this year. Oh, and 2 to Polanco. The slider misses. 1-2. But Terry has to stay away from Seawald, who went 3 innings last night. Probably Edgin, who went 2 innings last night. Reed, who's pitched each of the last 2 days. Wouldn't use Reed anyway with a big lead. One-two coming, and the breaking ball popped up. Reyes a long way to go back into foul ground, and he gets there to end the inning. 9 in a row retired by Jacob deGrom. We're through 6 in Pittsburgh with the Mets cruising 8-1. bridges. Darkness falling on Pittsburgh. Traffic minimal on the Roberto Clemente Bridge. Curtis Granderson leads off the 7th against Johnny Barbado, who starts his 2nd inning of relief. Granderson's 1 for 3, single and a run back in the 2nd, the first run of the night. Since then has popped up and grounded out. And as Granderson bats here, the news from Port St. Lucie that Yoenis Cespedes went 0 for 2 and a walk, played 6 innings in his first rehab game. How many more he'll require? Guess we'll have to wait and see. But you'd have to guess that Cespedes will be back with the Mets sometime in the coming week. Let's go home after this series in Pittsburgh. Have 4 with the Brewers starting on Monday afternoon, and then 3 with the Pirates at Citi Field next weekend. And Granderson takes a strike, 3-1. So while Cespedes plans his return, Granderson's starting to heat up a little bit, hitting over 300 the last 10 games. And he takes that one high for ball 4, and Barbado's control problems continue. That's 3 walks for Barbado in an inning plus. Our next broadcast will be Monday when the Mets meet the Brewers. That'll be Robert Gazelman's start, 1st to 4 with Milwaukee. Coverage begins at 3:30 Memorial Day Monday afternoon on SNY. Meanwhile, the city probables for the 2 games here in Pittsburgh that remain. Zach Wheeler against Garrett Cole tomorrow night. Matt Harvey against Tyler Glasnow on Sunday night. Here's Rene Rivera, who's 1 for 3. Yeah, Rene takes curveball for a strike, 0-1. Rene came up with 2 in scoring position his last time up and hit a bullet right at the third baseman. Two to Rivera with DeGrom on deck, and Rene strikes out on the fastball for the first out of the inning. 1 out and 1 on. Let's check in with Janae Coakley in the studio for another game break brought to you by the New York State Department of Health. And Max Scherzer trying for the complete game, working in the 9th inning for the Nationals. We showed that graphic before about the Nats bullpen and how it's been their Achilles heel. Well, you solve that by going 9. And Scherzer's trying to do that today. Meanwhile, DeGrom getting his 4th at bat. And takes a nice hack and fouls it back, 0-2. DeGrom's 1 for 3 at a base hit back in the 4th. His 7th hit of the season. One of the 11 hits the Mets have banged out tonight.
More importantly, they banged out 8 runs.
DeGrom lines a base hit, his 2nd of the night.
So DeGrom takes the fastball the other way. He's 2 for 4, and the Mets have 2 men on.
Stays level on the belt high fastball away. Beautiful thing. Well done.
So his 8th hit of the season. Memory serves, I believe the Met Club record for hits by a pitcher is 21. So here we are, less than a third of the way through the season. Popped up by Conforto. Infield fly rule is called. Mercer grabs it, and that's the 2nd out. Yeah, Dwight Gooden has the record, 21 hits in 1985, the most by a Mets pitcher in a season.
That's lined toward the hole. Harrison with a great diving stop takes a base hit away from Reyes and saves a run. Beautiful play by Josh Harrison, laying out.
Reyes continues to hit it hard, but denied there by Josh Harrison. Still 8-1 New York. Was picked up tonight right where he left off in his last start against the Angels.
Well, remember when he came up, he up and in to freeze right there. But these next strikeouts, outside corner knees, that's DeGrom that we come to know and love. Painting your wagon on the outside corner and knees. 7 strikeouts on the night.
And he's retired 9 in a row since the home run by Polanco in the 4th inning that provided the only Pittsburgh run. They'll get David Freese to start the 7th. He's already struck out Freese twice, each time on 3 pitches. And he gets a first pitch strike with a fastball, 0-1. Jake walked 1 in the 1st inning. He hasn't walked anybody since. And other than the Polanco home run, he gave up 2 singles to Harrison, 1 on a little dunker into right, the other on a bunt. So he has been in firm command all night long and now working with a big lead. The slider misses to Freese, 2-1. There's your People's United Bank starters. Chad Kuhl, not so cool tonight. Jacob deGrom, cooler than cool.
Just what the doctor ordered for this bullpen. This Met bullpen.
He's chasing the fastball 2-2. Well, Jake went 7 in his last start. Has every chance to go at least 7 tonight. And the Mets need this more than anything right now. And he gets Freese for the 3rd time. Strikeout number 8 for deGrom.
Boy, Freese is totally blind upstairs.
Ten in a row retired by deGrom. And now McCutchen, the former MVP, dropped to 6th in the batting order for the first time in his career, hoping it would take some pressure off. He's gone 0 for 2. He hits one toward the middle of the diamond. That sneaks through for a base hit. So that snaps the string of 10 in a row retired by deGrom. A 1-out single for McCutchen.
First ball fastball hitting at this late stage of the ball game, down 7 runs. Your manager is going to tell you, go ahead and swing. You're going to get a first ball fastball. Jump on it.
So 1 out and 1 on, and now Francisco Cervelli. You have to love a guy who comes to the plate to "That's Amore."
It's Dino singing it too.
Out toward the right field corner. Bruce goes back and reels it in. And Cervelli is retired, 2 out. Bullpen is quiet.
Oh, nice.
No need for anybody to be up now with DeGrom at 93 pitches with a big lead.
They're all huddled over there in that corner. It's got to be a little chilly down there.
The wind is blowing out that way, so it's cooler out there than it is where we sit. Just 93 pitches for DeGrom so far. 106 his last time out, and that's 7 innings against the Angels. And he gets the first pitch slider in for a strike to Mercer. Jake had a little issue with the ring finger callus in the last start. Hasn't seemed to bother him at all tonight. Mercer's 0 for 2. And he fouls it back. And quickly it's 0-2. So if he can dispose of Mercer quickly, there's every chance that
they run him out there for the 8th.
Yeah. McCutchen at first and 2 out. 0-2 to Mercer. Line left field, base hit. McCutchen pulls it at second. So Mercer with a 2-out single, and the Pirates have 2 men aboard. Hit number 5 against DeGrom tonight. And now John Jaso will come up to pinch hit.
Well, Jaso with the locks, the dreadlocks. To reggae music, steps up to the plate.
Well, it's all of a piece. You can't have the dreads without the roster music. Jaso hit just 196. Got off to a really fast start for the Pirates last year, but less playing time this season. Bats here with 2 out and 2 on. Fouls back the fastball, 0-1. Jaso, who's been a catcher, a first baseman, an outfielder in his career.
Very open stance. He's very relaxed up there.
Like Adam LaRoche used to be. Right? Have that very relaxed manner in the batter's box,
yes,
and then attack.
Your favorite, Richie Hebner, was very relaxed up at the plate.
You know how to push my buttons, don't you?
Well, he wasn't. He just didn't have a good tenure with the Mets. He had a very good tenure here.
He's a terrific Pirate. He was a good Philly. Not much of a Met. Pitch number 100 coming for DeGrom. One, 2. This is down 2-2.
And that's pitch 100, Gary.
2 out, 2 on, 2-2 to Jaso.
Struck him out. Number 9 for Jacob deGrom. 7 solid innings for deGrom.
We'll see if he gets to go farther. He's got an 8-1 lead after 7 in Pittsburgh. Jacob deGrom's hand looks like he's going back out there for the 8th inning at 101 pitches.
Well, he's had a week off, just about, and the bullpen needs help. He's got 4 days off after this. He can go the extra mile.
Daniel Hudson will pitch the 8th inning for Pittsburgh.
Well, the veteran won 16 games for the Arizona Diamondbacks back in 2011 in 33 starts. And injuries, thrown into the bullpen.
Hudson's had 2 Tommy John surgeries. He missed virtually 3 seasons with the 2 Tommy Johns. He was featured in Jeff Passan's book, The Arm. Fascinating saga about his path through all of his trials and tribulations. When he first came back with the Diamondbacks in 2015, looked like he was going to have a nice niche as a setup guy, but it's been a lot rougher for Hudson since he's come to Pittsburgh. Jay Bruce leads off. 23rd outing for Hudson this year, and he's been hit very hard. Bruce has doubled to a sacrifice fly, drawn a walk. He's 1 for 2 tonight. And Bruce hits one in the air to right center. Angling in is Polanco. This one he sees and catches. 1 out. Well, now another crack for Neil Walker, who's had himself an enormous night and isn't getting nearly as many rounds of applause from the Pirate fans with each successive at bat.
3 for 4 to be exact on the night, with 3 runs, 2 home runs, numbers 5 and 6 on the season, with 4 ribeye steaks. Nice homecoming here.
And another crack at his first career 3 home run game. And he takes a fastball strike from Hudson. 1-1. Well, there's a lot to look at in the cheap Mets box score, which we'll be showing you at some point. There it is. Walker with the 4 RBIs. Duda another big night. Jacob deGrom with a couple of hits. Grounded back to Hudson. And Walker is retired, 2 out. Now Duda, who's had himself another fine night. 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, 2 for 3 and a walk. Over the last 4 games now, 7 for 13 with 4 extra base hits. So it's coming now for Lucas. The offense the Mets run out there every day, with Cespedes returning sometime fairly soon. It would appear as though this team will score enough runs to win if they can pitch the way they had hoped, or at least some semblance of the way they had hoped.
The lineup is very balanced. You notice this lineup today, Gary. It's 5 left-hand hitters and 3 switch hitters. 8 of the 9 have DeGrom's a left-hand hitter, and he contributed tonight with 2 hits.
I mean, think of the bench the Mets are going to have as well. I mean, assuming that Granderson's the odd man out, you have him coming off the bench. You have Wilmer Flores coming off the bench. You got T.J. Rivera coming off the bench. All 3 of whom, are capable of delivering late in the game if you need a pinch hitter.
Well, it's like what Whitey Herzog said: when people get hurt, it weakens the bench because you've got to draw from the bench.
Well, there's Jerry Blevins up in the Mets bullpen. Not sure why Jerry would pitch in an 8-1 game, but there he is. Jerry, who has been by far the Mets' most reliable relief pitcher this year. Duda cracks one foul. Still 1-2. And the slider in there, strike 3 called. And so Hudson has himself a 1-2-3 top of the 8th. DeGrom back to the mound for the bottom with an 8-1 lead. We won a game yesterday. Jacob deGrom, first pitch of the 8th inning, line to right by Adam Frazier, caught by Jay Bruce. And with that, Jacob deGrom now has his longest outing of the season. 3 times he's gone 7 innings. He's now gone 7 1/3. 1 pitch and 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Here's his pitch count. Most he threw was in the first inning when he walked his only batter. Gave up a home run to Gregory Polanco in the fourth, the only run against him. Levens continues to throw in the bullpen. Josh Harrison is 2 for 3. You know, you've got that delicate balance between overworking guys in the bullpen and giving them enough work to stay sharp.
Especially when you have 7, sometimes 8 guys out there.
And in Levin's case, you know, he went to Terry Collins the other day and told him that he really had to pitch that night because he hadn't pitched in 4 days and it was a lopsided game, and he came in. That's grounded out to Cabrera, and Harrison retired 2 out. And then, as it turned out, he wasn't available the next day in a close game when the Mets could have used him. So it becomes a real balancing act. Jerry, for most of this season, has been on a pace for close to 100 games, and they're trying to back him off a little bit. But you don't want to back him off to the point where you can't use him when you need him the most. So it really puts the manager between a rock and a hard place at times.
And of late, whatever button's been pushed by Terry has not worked out.
Josh Bell takes a curveball for a strike. Seen a lot of curveballs from DeGrom tonight, but 4th time through the batting order. Starts Bell off with 1. Bell's 0 for 2 and a walk. And there's a strike. Just missed. DeGrom froze for a moment, thought he might have his 10th strikeout of the night.
A little twinkle toes here on that pitch. Thought he had it, just missed.
Now the 1-2 to Bell, and that's off the corner. Change up, 2-2.
Come up and in. Give him the up and in cheddar. He's got a long swing.
That's how he struck him out the last time. Two to Bell. That's too high. Tried to put him away upstairs, but he wasn't biting, and it's 3-2. Two out and nobody on. Popped it up. Cabrera comes in to call for it. And for the first time this season, a Mets starter has gone 8 innings. Jacob deGrom threw 8. Exactly what the doctor ordered for the Mets and their pitching staff. 8-1 headed for the 9th.
Sound the trumpets.
Clint Hurdle will give Francisco Cervelli the 9th inning off. Chris Stewart comes in to catch for the Pirates as Dribble Cabrera leads off against Daniel Hudson and nubs one down to third. Running toss by Freese on target for the first out. Well, Jacob deGrom came off the mound after 8 innings and 111 pitches. Motions to Terry Collins saying, "You gonna let me go out there for the 9th?"
I would.
I can't believe that they would.
I am in your camp on this one, Gare.
I mean, it's the longest outing for a Mets starter already this year, but it looks like they're going to at least let him swing the bat. And if they let him swing the bat, who knows? Maybe he gets to start the 9th as well. Mets need to get a base runner for deGrom's turn to come up in this inning. Fernando Salas is ready in the bullpen, or getting ready. Curtis Granderson 1 for 3 and a walk tonight. He's driven in a run. That's with 8 runs and 12 hits tonight. And Curtis foul tips the breaking ball. And it's 0-2. Well, Max Scherzer did not go the distance for the Nats. They pulled him after 8 2/3. And he struck out 13. And Coda Glover got the final out, and the Nats beat the Padres 5-1. And a foul tip held by Stewart. Granderson struck out 2 away. Let's check in on WB Mason post-game live. See what's coming up with Gary Apple and Nelson Figueroa, guys. All right, gents, here is Rene Rivera, 1 for 4 on the night, and deGrom is out in the on-deck circle. Slider misses from Hudson, ball 1. Well, what do you think?
I mean, at this stage, you'd want to give one of your bench guys an at bat, you know, if you're not going to start him in the 9th.
And again, maybe he said he'd like to get a 3-hit game.
That's another thing. I was just a possibility.
And deGrom's not only pitched well tonight, he has hit well. 2 hits tonight, 8 for the year. It's an all right-hand hitting bench. At least deGrom gives you a left-hand hitter. And Rene loses the bat, and it sails down toward the tarp. That's about as far as you can throw a bat. It was a good 110 feet.
Glenn Schobert getting booed here.
Well, the fan wanted to keep the bat, but they'll trade him a bat.
Correct.
And Rene calls for the pine tar.
That would be a good idea.
This is some massive throw. Put him in the Olympics in the hammer throw. With a little stickier bat, Rene strikes out to end the inning. So 6 up and 6 down for Hudson in relief with 3 strikeouts, and we'll see what is in store for deGrom as we go to the bottom of the 9th. ninth inning. He has the last complete game for the Mets. The only complete game of his career, a one-hitter against the Phillies last summer. He threw only 105 pitches in that game. He's thrown 111 tonight. His career high for pitches thrown is 122, and coincidentally enough, it came against the Pirates 3 years ago tonight. In his third major league start, he threw 122 pitches in 6 2/3 against Pittsburgh. And he throws a first pitch strike to Gregory Polanco. So he clearly wanted the ball in the ninth, and Terry Collins is giving it to him. Polanco had a home run for the only Pirate run tonight. It came leading off in the 4th inning. Since then, DeGrom has allowed just 2 singles to the next 17 batters. Fernando Salas on call if needed. Fastball inside to Polanco, 2-1. Can't imagine he'll get a lot of rope. Gives up a base runner here in the ninth. That's line to right field, sinking fast in front of Brewers for a base hit. So a leadoff hit for Polanco, his second of the night. Let's see if Terry makes a move here or takes DeGrom a little further.
He's coming up the. Is he coming up the step? Yes. No. One more batter.
Well, he is. DeGrom has dominated David Freese tonight. He's faced him 3 times, struck him out all 3. So Ricky Bones waving the towel, indicating that Salas is ready. Meanwhile, DeGrom throws a fastball upstairs that Freese has not been able to handle all night.
Boy, I'll say.
And quickly 0-2.
Still got the good zip in the fastball here.
Jake has 4 games this year where he struck out 10 or more. He struck out 9 tonight. And that's number 10. David Freese gets the golden sombrero. Jacob DeGrom gets his 5th double-digit strikeout game of the year. And Terry Collins will bring the hook. At 118 pitches, DeGrom's work is done after 8 1/3, the longest effort by a Mets starter this year.
I don't understand the logic of having him run out there for 1 out. Gary, do you?
Unless he wanted the 10 strikeouts. Can't be sure. But it certainly appeared as though Jake wanted the 9th, and he gets the first out in the 9th. And now his work is done. He leaves with an 8-1 lead after a job well done. Salas coming in. Fernando Salas on to try and get the final 2 outs. Andrew McCutchen takes a fastball for a strike. When we last saw Salas, he was unable to complete a 7th inning in which he got the first 2 outs. And that led to a big meltdown against San Diego a couple of nights ago. Comes upstairs with the fastball to get ahead on McCutchen. Well, DeGrom went the extra mile tonight.
Well, we had our conversation with Terry before the game, and he said he really needed a big outing from Jacob, and he sure delivered.
Longest outing by a Mets starter since last August. And McCutchen down on 3 pitches as Salas strikes him out for the 2nd out. So Salas picks up where DeGrom left off, and the Pirates are down to their final out of the game.
Boy.
Audi gives you the drive around the majors. Phillies got a win yesterday, but back to the losing tonight. Scherzer's 13 strikeouts for the Nats, and Giancarlo Stanton hit one out of the universe. And the Marlins have an 8-3 lead on the Angels in the 8th. Now Chris Stewart, who came on for Francisco Cervelli in the top of the 9th, gets his first at bat. Stewart pops one up. Duda has it measured, and the ball game is over. Jacob deGrom goes 8 1/3, the longest outing by a Mets starter.